Today on Primetime Local News, we're talking about blackleg, which is a disease that impacts canola plants. I'm joined today by Doug Heath, who is a research manager with Sask Canola. So Doug, what can you tell me about blackleg?
Blackleg's a fungal disease that comes from canola stubble from the previous canola crop. And so that fungus releases ascospores in the springtime, and those travel through the air, usually a short distance to new canola seedlings. And the important yield robbing aspect of blackleg happens early in the season when those spores infect on the cotyledons or the first few true leaves of the plants.
And just how prevalent is this disease?
You can find blackleg just about anywhere in Saskatchewan at some level. Usually it's not at a high incidence level, but depending on the year, it can cause problems.
And so you guys at Sask Canola have partnered with the Saskatchewan Government Ministry of Agriculture for a blackleg testing program. Can you tell me about this?
Yes, so new for 2021, Sask Canola is partnering with the Sask Ministry of Agriculture to promote a free testing program for registered canola growers to test for blackleg races in their fields. And so this is important because if farmers grow the same varieties or similar varieties that have the same major resistance genes towards blackleg every year, then that can cause selection pressure in their fields and allow different races of blackleg to build up in their fields. And then, so over time, after several canola crops, that could end up being decreased yields due to these new blackleg races overpopulating in the field and taking over. And those new races that weren't there before or were there at low levels, they can potentially overcome the major gene resistance that's in their favorite varieties.
Yeah, I was going to ask about genetic modification with canola seeds. Are there varieties of canola seeds that are resistant to blackleg?
Most canola varieties on the market nowadays are at least labeled as resistant or moderately resistant to blackleg, and that means that it's resistant to some but not all races of blackleg. And some seed companies take that labeling a step further, and there's a new lettering classification of blackleg races. So as an example, a lettering system from A to G, where each letter represents one major resistance gene that provides resistance to a specific blackleg race. So yeah, so another important step to manage blackleg is with the proper, at least a 3-year rotation, because there's research to show that with a 2-year break between canola crops, that allows the previous crop's canola residue to break down over those 2 years. And it's actually the canola residue that is the source of the blackleg inoculum for the next canola crop.
That was all the questions that I had. Are there any other aspects of blackleg that you think are important to touch on?
I also wanted to mention that through the Canola Agri-Science Cluster, there's been some research that's allowed the development of a new blackleg yield loss calculator. And so that's been updated this year as well to modernize the calculator so that it's based on modern canola hybrids. And so that can be found at canolacouncil.org/calculator. There's a bunch of good canola tools that farmers can use. And the yield loss calculator will just provide you with a good estimate of how much yield you are losing due to blackleg.
And I'm sure that test could also act as a reminder for farmers to, keep rotating their canola seed as they do with other rotations. Doug, thank you so much for joining me today, and have a great rest of your day.
All right, you too.
All right, take care.
Thanks a lot.